blind, a sign of the times. Out of sight, out of mind, the blind leading the blind leading the blind, a sign of the times. Out of sight, out of mind, the blind leading the.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are here. It is the value of wrestling. I'm the big time, along with my co-host, the big man, the super heavyweight luchador himself, Mr. Singular Z. We thank you all for joining us on a day late, but it is a Monday night review. Thank you, Johnny Robinson, for the love. We are here to talk about Monday Night Raw. I know it's Tuesday, but we are booked up on Mondays, which makes it a little hard for us to review the show after it comes on the air. And we are good, and we are going to rock out the show. Tom, hello, good sir.
Hey, well, it is up, everybody. It is Tuesday. We're wide awake, folks. Wide awake.
Yes, it's Tuesday evening. We've watched Monday Night Raw. We can't do it after Monday Night Raw because we've got other things that are in the works, and someday we will get to share all that lovely joy for us. It's going to be something fun, something exciting. Can't wait till it all comes together, but it's going to be worth the while. It is Tuesday, which means it's the night before the New Japan Rebound podcast, which will air tomorrow. So be looking out for that on the channel right here on the Value of Wrestling. And we're ready to party. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, Monday Night Raw hit it out of the park, coming off a couple of weeks of misses and a Survivor Series that people have gone back and forth and debated. It was good. It was bad. We thought it was fairly decent, but, I think Monday Night Raw definitely turned another channel and set stages, set pathways for what is to come. And it's going to be exciting.
Well, I mean, you said you hit it out the park. I'm over here looking for the ball because it was gone. Last night they murdered it.
It was a home run like Jorge Soler hit in the 2021 World Series when he blasted that out of the Astros Minute Maid Park down there in Houston, helping the Braves solidify Game 6 of the 2020 World Series and becoming the world champions. But he blasted that ball out of the park. I mean, Raw was too bittersweet. Of course, we open Monday Night Raw like they've been doing. We get a recap of everything that went down at Survivor Series. We get ready for Saturday night's main event on Saturday wrestling night. Yes, Saturday, December 14th, which is going to be a night of wrestling. There are more wrestling shows than I can possibly count. Saturday night's main event, East Bay Pro Wrestling is having a show. PCW is having a show. Rich City Wrestling out here is having a show. I believe Total Wrestling Federation is having a show. There's a whole plethora of wrestling going down on December 14th. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be wrestling night, definitely on that night. But Raw opens.
Yeah, that is.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if you can't make it to one of these great independent shows, and folks, I highly recommend if you're in these areas, please go to these shows. You will get the bang for your buck if you go to these shows, folks. But if you can't make it and you're at home, yes, there is wrestling to watch on TV, but still, I highly recommend if you're in the area, go down to that local rec hall or that high school gym where they're having a big show.
Or your indoor soccer arena. And Mr. Z,
we all know what that is. Come on now.
Mr. Z is frozen, but that's okay. Hopefully he'll come back from being unfrozen. Oh, he went bye-bye. Bye. Goodbye. See you later. Someday he'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
I'm back.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah.
Anyways, we get all the feedback. We get ready for
something on my table. It messes up.
Then don't bump stuff on your table, sir. Sit very, very still. Anyways, we see Gunther. Gunther is still it's still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He is going to need a new contender. Will Damian Priest get his rematch that he might deserve? Will Finn Balor get a match? Who's going to be next in line with Gunther's title? Could it be the man who opened the show? We're going to talk about that in a minute. And, of course, Monday Night Raw. It is tonight, the 10th anniversary of the New Day. So lots and lots to talk about here. We see CM Punk in the back. He stops to shake hands with both Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. He heads out to the ring. Punk left WWE for a bit after Blood, and now he's back and then knows where he wants to go. Maybe he gets there through the Rumble. Maybe he gets there through the Elimination Chamber. He stands up on the top turnbuckle. He looks off in the distance and says, "Can you see it?" Referring to the WrestleMania sign. Because he sure sees it. He knows where he's headed. He came out and gave us a great conversation talking about Blood, going from Hell in a Cell to War Games in a War Games cell. Punk was here. He was talking about what he needs to do, and he knows his road to main event WrestleMania is his goal. Will be at the Rumble. Will be at the Elimination Chamber. We're going to have to wait and see. And as Punk is talking, he is interrupted by the architect, the one and only Seth freaking Rollins. They stare each other down. Rollins has some choice words for Punk. He says he should have knocked Punk out the day he returned. A lot has happened in the years since Punk came back. The last time they saw each other, Rollins had a pity on Punk. And now it's time to rectify those problems. He shouldn't have pity. There's nothing between them at all, except air and hatred, Seth Rollins goes on to say. Punk says Punk says he is long past running races he didn't know he was right in. 6 months ago, Rollins was champion, but now he's not, and he has nothing to offer Punk. Punk wanted the title, but Rollins doesn't have the title, so he doesn't have anything there. Rollins thinks about Punk. Punk goes on to say Rollins has been thinking about him for 6 months, while Punk hasn't thought about him one bit. That's enough for Rollins. They get face-to-face. Rollins shoves Punk on his butt like he said he was going to do. He said, "I'm going to shove you on your ass." And that did come to fruition. This brought down Sami Zayn and Jey Uso to break it up. Eventually, they separate them. Security comes down. Uso and Punk leave together, leaving Rollins and Sami Zayn in the ring, transferring what was already an incredible, heated, intense promo between Punk and Rollins into a whole different level, because Rollins goes off on Jey Uso about family and, backing up Roman after everything. that's enough. He shoves them, Punk, and they leave. Leaving Rollins and Zayn in there. Rollins talks about Jake teaming with Roman, and Sammy cuts him off. Zayn cuts him off, saying he asked Rollins to be on the team, not once but twice, but Rollins is stubborn. Rollins says Zayn wanted him to help Reigns get back to power, but Zayn says Rollins created the monster by hitting Reigns in the back with a chair 10 years ago. Rollins says, yes, I understand I did that, but if we're going to point fingers, let's remember you did the same thing. Reigns hasn't changed, and Zayn is being really stupid. Zayn and Rollins get into a heated conversation, and Zayn says, fine, if this is how it's going to be, I challenge you to a match tonight. Rollins says he's down, and suddenly we're getting Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins in a match on Monday Night Raw. What an incredible back and forth this turned out to be. This was great. From Punk to from continuing to Punk Rollins heated feud to switching this to Sami and Seth, and all the little materials, all the backstory that they brought into this, made this a great promo through and through. And setting up Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins really set this whole thing up for what is next, where is it going. I couldn't have been happier. I mean, Punk and Rollins are great together. Sami and Rollins had a great promo. Is Seth Rollins going to go heel in all of this? Is he going to shift his direction after all of this? Because it looks like Punk's coming out the babyface. Sami's looking like the babyface. Seth kind of being the architect, the heelish Seth Rollins in this situation. But damn, what a hot way to open Monday Night Raw to get your juices flowing. I know a lot of people are upset because this took 10, 15 minutes of talking back and forth, and some people are not excited because there was no wrestling. But, I mean, this sets up so many stories and projects so many things that are going to come. This has already got you ready, and we're already pushing for the story and the narrative. We're already talking about Sami, Seth, CM Punk, Jey Uso going into possibly the Royal Rumble. What are they going to do? Elimination Chamber. We're already setting the pace for what is going to come up heading into WrestleMania season. I don't know how you can't be excited or pumped for this, because they took the intensity of the Seth Rollins CM Punk stuff, laid that out in a nice framework, and then they switched it up in a way you didn't even see coming when Sami and Seth butted heads, leading to them having a match later on tonight. Big man, tell me what your thoughts were.
You know what? Like you said, there are people that are a little upset. Yes, it did take a while, but man, just alone, you had Punk and Rollins in the ring, and you already knew the animosity that was there to begin with. And just to hear them go back and forth, I was wondering when it was going to take time for them to square up and start throwing blows. It didn't take very long. And the way they squared up, people are joking about, but I'm pretty sure they're trying to square up so it's not so serious, or both of them looking for a knockout punch. That's pretty much what they were squaring up for.
I thought they were trying to make it look more like a real fight. Like the way I know it looked kind of goofy because Punk kind of did one of these things. You didn't know what was going on, but I think that was also selling a narrative that this wasn't about wrestling. This was like a real fight. Punk kind of sold this like Rollins was really going to come after him and tear his head off. The way Punk ducked and dodged, I think that this was meant to play a little more of a serious play out to make people think, oh, hell. More than the people who are laughing at it going, oh, they screwed up. They look like goofy idiots.
No, he looked like, because the way he did it, and he was like, screw it, I'm just going to take you down. Double leg takedown just to squash it right out of the chute. I'm like, all right, they don't want to sit there and have a legit fight on national television. I mean, granted, free fight, there's nothing wrong with that.
The way the intensity of the story needs to be, these two need to feel like it's a fight more than a wrestling match.
Yes, and then you shift it completely way out left field. Sami Zayn ends up with the match with Rollins. I was like, where the heck are we going? Like you said, we're heading to Royal Rumble season, Elimination Chamber, the two biggest shows you have before WrestleMania. I mean, let's get hyped for the beginning of the year.
Dude, they just laid down the sand for that new paver. You're gonna put in that paver sidewalk. They just laid down the sand. They laid that first layer down to lay out that paver sidewalk that you're gonna build out in your garden. That that brick patio, you know, put a little paver sand under there, and now you're going to start stacking the stones on there in whatever direction you want them all to fit. This is what happened here. They laid a pathway for you. They laid that first layer. Okay, the cake's fresh out of the oven. You can't ice it yet. They got that first piece of the cake sitting there cool and getting ready to get iced. And ladies and gentlemen, they're starting to give you that little sample. It's Baskin Robbins season with WWE. Get ready to taste a lot and be ready to be hungry, because it's going to be some fun stuff coming up.
Yes, it is.
Anyways, after that, we got a recap of Survivor Series where Damian Priest caught up with Finn Balor in the back lot and beat him down. We then saw Finn Balor talking with the rest of Judgment Day. Balor was not happy with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan for not getting the job done in their War Games. He's going to take care of things, and they better too, including Liv Morgan's title defense against Io Sky at WWE's return of Saturday Night Main Event in the Nassau Coliseum, December 14th. A big night for WWE, taking Saturday Night Main Event to the very first arena we ever got a Saturday Night Main Event, the Nassau Arena in New York, the Nassau Coliseum. It's going to be a banger show. Liv Morgan defending that title against Io Sky is going to be a great match in itself. And that card stacking up, as we also know, Cody Rhodes is going to defend the WWE title against Kevin Owens.
Ooh, so it's a stacked card already.
Hey, well, and we're not even done yet.
No, we're not. We're not even close. And then I know people are on there talking about, oh, Damien's supposed to be done with Finn, this and that. No, they don't have to be done. There could be multiple reasons why this can keep going.
Damien can be done with Finn. Damien is done with Finn, or Damien thought he was done with Finn. Finn's not done with Damien. So get your story right. Yeah, Damien was done with Finn. Damien took care of Finn, or so he thought, because Finn Balor said, I'm not done with you. And if you don't like them apples, I don't know what to tell you. Call somebody. Or in the words of James Storm, sorry about your damn luck. Oh, I'm fired up, ladies and gentlemen. It was a damn good show.
They could keep me going with all this, because I'm like I said, it keeps you glued to the television. You don't know what's going to happen next. We're sitting here. You could fantasy book this all night long, and it's never going to come close to what they're putting out right now.
No, this is great stuff. This was fun stuff. Monday night was fun for me. I was already in a positive mood. Came home and watched this stuff. Just got me more exciting. I love wrestling. I love good wrestling. I love what WWE's doing here. Damage Control versus Liv Morgan. Finally, after a while, after the first part of the show, we get a wrestling match. I know people make fun of it. Oh, they match wrestling on the show. But we're transitioning. We're building to what's to come next. And sometimes you have to tell the story. And the best way to tell the story is like they did. Anyway, Damage Control versus Liv Morgan. This is Io Sky and Kairi Sane against Liv Morgan and Big Mommy Cool, Raquel Rodriguez. Me. Anyways.
Yeah.
Raquel Rodriguez with the big kick to the face of Zayn, and then the Tejano bomb for the finish. The match went 3 minutes, 59 seconds. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez staying in a good match, coming out on top here. Post-match, Rodriguez goes after Damage Control, and then the music hits. This is my brutality. And here comes Rhea Ripley, no mask. She comes out and brawl. Morgan gets up again, though, and Ripley is sent first into the announce table. Balor and Gunther. Oh, and so that ends all of that. So good, decent match between Damage Control and Liv Morgan and Raquel Big Mommy Cool Rodriguez. Me. Everything here fits. We know Liv Morgan and Io Sky are going to have that big match on December 14th, that Saturday night's main event. So, I mean, this is a good way to get there, create some more heat and animosity between all of these women. And we know that the true mommy, Rhea Ripley, is here looking like the badass mommy that she is. If there's anybody that would be top tier in wrestling right now, I mean, Rhea Ripley is one of the hottest commodities in professional wrestling right now. She's even outburning some of the men on the roster. She is just that good right now.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you gotta like just the pops alone, just her music hits and everyone loses their mind.
Yes.
Um, how she's carrying herself to the ring, how she portrays herself outside the ring as far as non-confrontational, but when she brings the heat, everybody's watching to see what she's gonna do.
Backstage, we catch up with Gunther, and he was about to be interviewed before he was interrupted by Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Balor says that Gunther owes him a title shot because that's 2 times he's helped him beat Damian Priest, and instead of kicking him in the face, he should be shaking his hand and thanking him. Gunther isn't convinced, but he'd be glad to beat up a Dominic tonight, which gets us Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio in one-on-one action. Great little segment here to follow up on what went down from Survivor Series between Finn Balor and Gunther, stirring the pot here. Next match, the first of the first of 4 matches in the first round of the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament. Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler versus Katana Chance. Kai grabs a fireman carry kick to the head to pin Baszler. This match went 7 minutes 40 seconds. Solid match. Dakota Kai getting a big win. Dakota Kai definitely a deserving contender to be in this match. I would say she could be a first ballot, first time WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, so I'm not mad.
No, and I know certain individuals felt maybe, Shayna was going to be the odds-on favorite walking into this, and I mean, I can understand why, but it's not meant for someone like her. I mean, Dakota Kai honestly needed this win. This was a must-win situation for her.
After this, we get a long video package of the history of the New Day, and in one of the most emotional moments we've seen on Monday Night Raw all year. Now, you had a high-intensity emotional moment at the beginning of Raw, and if you don't call this a roller coaster Raw that kept you glued to your seats, the ups and downs, we went from a very high, intense, ready to fight and brawl, get your blood pumping moment to something that I think ripped many people's heart out and just left people in awe, a shock when this all came down. Adam Pearce is here to introduce us to the New Day and celebrate their 10th anniversary. The big Booty-O box is up on the stage. The outfits, the old WWE world titles that the New Day really carried a lot. Old pictures of the New Day in different formations, celebrations. The history of the New Day is surrounding the ring and in the ring. Kofi and Xavier Woods come out to the ring. We get a New Day rock chants throughout the audience, loud and booming. Woods talks about this is more than a dream come true, and thanks to the fan. Kofi says he's never believed this would happen, and it couldn't have happened without the fans. Woods says they're about to tell you, is it the fans' fault? And Kingston teases the breakup between him and Kofi. It looks like at this moment in time, Kofi and Xavier Woods are standing in the ring, and it looks like they're going to announce that they've talked after everything they've been through, the back and forth bickering that's been going on the last few weeks. They really started to set up what looked like the end of the New Day. It looked like they were going to say, it is over, when suddenly, after 4 long years, that music hits and Big E returns to Monday Night Raw. Cannot believe it's been 4 years that E has been out of action. But here is Big E.
Oh.
He was the first person to be there. He comes out and he talks about, you can see they were all emotional, seeing, he's emotional. He's back. He wishes he was there under different circumstances. Seeing Woods and Kofi Kingston arguing troubled him deeply, he goes on to say. 10 years ago, Kingston was considering retirement, and Woods was frustrated. 10 years ago, Kofi Kingston was talking about retirement because his career wasn't going anywhere, and Woods and Xavier were that close to being fired. And then on a horrible day, the worst day of his career, he wound up in the hospital, and his 2 friends were there by his side making sure he was okay. Big E was the first person that was there with his neck brace on when Kofi had his baby, and then when Woods won the King of the Ring, he came back and cried on E's shoulder. That's why Big A is not going to, that is why Big E's come back. He is back to be here every week, to be their cheerleader, to support them, to remind them who they are. He is going to be their managers. Oddly enough, the way he said that. But Big E on his way back. We have the reigning defending OTC, the original tribal chief in the chat. Welcome to the chat, tribal chief. So, I don't know. The tribal chief's here, so I don't think you can. I don't think you can say anything about your tribal chief, Mr. Luchador. We know who the value. We know who the Value Wrestling's tribal chief is.
Yeah. We'll yeah, we're gonna keep quiet of that. Sorry.
Anyways,
you know, you talk. I was gonna say the way this started off already. It's already got you right in the palm of their hand.
Yeah.
Because you're wondering what they're gonna do. And man, did it not just kill you a little bit inside after all this?
Yes. No. They set this up beautifully. It looked like Big E was coming back to be a manager. We thought we were going to see him on TV helping bring back the New Day. When Woods took to the bike and goes, now you want to come back? Where was Big E when they were fighting for months? Yeah, and Woods made a great example about how they were bickering back and forth. He wants to come back now when they fought so long that they've come to the edge of that cliff that the only choice they have to do is jump. I mean, the metaphor that was set up there about how they bickered until they were at the point of breaking up, about to jump off the cliff, about to end it. Now Big E wants to come back was beautiful in that sentiment. And then Woods goes, E, you left us. And he comes back and talks about his broken neck. And then Kofi cuts off going, you left us. You broke, and Kofi hitting this. You left us. You broke your neck. So what? As soon as Kofi said that, the air in the arena was sucked out. Everybody was like, what? Kofi goes on to talk about Steve Austin broke his freaking neck and came back. Kurt Angle broke his neck and came back. Edge broke his neck and came back. And they didn't even have anybody waiting for them. And earlier today, in X, even Hurricane Helms himself came out and said he broke his neck and came back. As big and strong as E is, he could have been back here sooner. Big E pleads his case about everything he's been doing with the doctors, but Wood says he has been back in. He says they've heard it before. Wood says, when he tore his Achilles clean off the bone, he was back in 9 months for E. And if the Big E cared, he would have been back a long time ago. But E chose his new life. E chose his new girlfriend. E chose his new career, his new desk job over them. Woods then turns on E and says that he has become a burden to the New Day, talking about everywhere they go, all they hear is, where is E? We miss E. Woods goes on to say, we miss E. Kofi then takes over and goes, what? It was we before me. The whole mantra, the whole theory, the whole concept behind the New Day was New Day before yourself. These three men had come together to do for them as a threesome, then for themselves as singularly. And they go back and forth on that. And then eventually Woods goes, let's talk the truth that Big E is never going to be medically cleared to get back. And that he's going to be behind the desk. And Woods tells him to leave the building. We'll leave the ring because he doesn't need to be here. And if they need him, they will call him. He starts to leave and then he turns around and goes, I'm not throwing this all away, not after 10 years. And Big E finally leaves after he realizes they are not going to support him. Big E looking heartbroken. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston staring down each other and rekindling what is going to be a new heel New Day, solidifying their reconnection, their bond of saying, you know what, you're right. I know a lot of people are sick of the New Day or never liked them in the first place, but I get it. This is a great moment, and now we see them on a new journey. E is out. Kofi and Xavier Woods have re-solidified their partnership in a moment that changed the whole course of the show. This show was hot, heavy, to a very emotional, broken heart. I know people probably cried. People were disappointed. People were in shock. And I know people were left up thinking this is the way to make Big E's return. Big E is going to come and, get his revenge on Xavier Woods and Kofi, but I don't know. Woods didn't. I mean, we didn't see them attack Big E. Big E didn't take any bumps. He walked out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Big E is cleared to come back. I don't know if he'll ever be cleared to come back. I think there was some truth in that scenario. Now, that could also lead to Big E trying a whole lot harder to come back. But I don't know if there's enough. They did turn on him and left him brokenhearted, but does that give him enough motivation to come back and want to get revenge on them? We'll have to see where the story goes. I think there's got to be more to it, and them, insulting Big E or something else to really push for Big E's big comeback. Because it didn't really feel like they were motivating for a big comeback. It's just they were like, oh, you want to come back now? This really felt like the storyline of helping. Big E was there as a catalyst to help solidify that heel turn for the New Day. I don't really feel that we're going to see a feud between Big E and the New Day. I think he's still not cleared. I don't know if he'll ever be cleared. We hope he gets cleared and get back in the ring. But in this story, I really felt it was more of a send-off for E, that he's no longer attached to New Day.
Yeah.
New Day re-solidifying themselves as a New Day and a major. I mean, that really solidified that heel turn. I think that was more what the story was about. I know a lot of people are out here saying, oh, Big E is going to be fighting them, or Big E is making his return. I don't know if we can get our hopes up for that just yet.
Well, first off, great stuff. I mean, one great emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
That is, if that didn't pull on anyone's heartstrings, I would have loved to have been in the venue to feel that vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm sitting at home. I got my kids who love the New Day, who are big fans of the New Day. And now I got to tell them, hey, they're no more. Like, they kick Big E out, and that's going to break some hearts. But I mean, if this was a way to help E kind of ride off into the sunset, only like you said, to solidify the heel turn, but only give some closure that there's a possibility the big man might not come back, this was the perfect way to do it.
No,
Unfortunately. And
I think
we hope nothing but the best for him, but still.
No, I definitely feel this was more of an ending segment for the old New Day, and now we're changing directions. It's going to be a New Day without E. I think this cuts E out of that and ends that story as he walks off into the sunset. Doesn't mean E may not come back as a manager for somebody else, but I don't know if there's enough there to really grasp on. Like, I don't feel like they cut him off and sent him on his way, and he left walking out, but I don't know if there's enough there for a story to be really. I mean, yes, there is a story you could tell, but I don't know if there's really enough there to bite down on to say seeing Big E come back after them. I don't know.
No.
Now, Big E could be a catalyst in trying to bring them back around since they're going to go heel, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right. Well, I mean, that too, but like I said, there was some cheap shots that, even I was like, that was a little rough. But, we've heard it from E, and you've heard it from him multiple times on pre-shows. Yes, he feels great. He feels wonderful, but there's no guarantee that he's going to get cleared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, if this was to change the direction and have E ride off into the sunset, bravo.
I feel the other catalyst is when Xavier definitely said, let's just make it clear you're never going to get cleared to come back. And you could see on E's face, and yes, I know they can sell a story. I know that that's their job. But E's face kind of made it feel like he knew that was kind of the fact. There was no comeback either. There wasn't something there that he bit onto. I mean, if they give him a promo later and he goes, you know what, now I'm going to work harder to prove that I can come back, it'll be interesting how they're going to tell that story. Right. Even though the New Day may be heel, there's still some sympathy to be garnered there. Is Big E the baby face if he comes back? Even though New Day turned on him in a way, they kind of roasted him. I get it. But again, New Day has something to stand on. Where was E all this time? He didn't show up. He wasn't there. And now on this day, he wants to talk about coming back. but he wasn't there. So, I mean, it does garner some sympathy to feel bad for the New Day because he wasn't there. And he is kind of the heel because he did abandon them. He did do his thing.
Yeah.
And why wasn't he trying to come back? So, I mean, it's really hard to say where you take that story.
Who knows? All I know is from here on out, I'm looking to see what's going to happen. I'm excited because we don't know what story this is telling. They've laid it out. Like you said, they've laid the groundwork out for the next few months. Just watch it build. Let this man cook. I always say it. Let Triple H cook because that is what he's doing right now.
No, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out going forward. It could be some great stuff. It could be some fun stuff. We're just going to have to wait and see how the story flows. After that, we saw Karrion Kross talking about the Wyatt sick. They went too far last week when they attacked, or when Nikki Cross attacked Scarlett. They started this fire, and he is going to end it. Then we had Dominic Mysterio versus Gunther in a solid match. Here the match went 6:29. Gunther getting the big boot to Dom, and then the power bomb. And for a brief moment in time, the fans were behind Dominic in this match. It was crazy to hear that. Gunther basically shoves off Dominic. Post-match, Finn Balor runs in to jump Gunther for 3 coup de grace. And this will eventually be the result of what we're going to happen on Friday night or Saturday night's main event when Gunther has to defend the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor now. What is the story going to be here? And I'm sure we're going to see Damian Priest try to cost Balor that title shot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, first off, I gotta say this. I mean, Finn Balor, uncrowned champ. I mean, the man didn't even get a run. Got the title. So seeing him shot after all this time is great, but I think we all know how this is going to end. Damian's got something up his sleeve for him.
Sadly, unfortunately, we all want to see Finn Balor wear that title or a world title one more time, but it probably is not going to happen this time unless Damian screws up and costs Gunther in some botched situation. Could be interesting. There's a story there that you could tell where Balor could come out as champion. From there, Pete Dunne is in the back, and he's ready to hurt R-Truth for calling him Butch. In the middle of the interview, we see that Jey Uso has been attacked, leaving a lot of people questioning who would attack Jey Uso. Yeet.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Dunne.
I already know who did it. Everyone's already pointed fingers.
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a moment. R-Truth. Dunne starts off good, but the fans start chanting Butch, which distracts Pete Dunne, letting R-Truth rattle him up and get a pin at 1 minute 53 seconds. Barrett sells R-Truth as a master manipulator, and now Pete Dunne is probably even more enraged that R-Truth got him in a schoolboy roll-up 1, 2, 3 in 1 minute 53 seconds. That's 113 seconds altogether.
Wow.
In the back,
wow. A schoolboy. It's a beautiful thing to get.
In the back, Braun Breaker, it looks like he's about to talk to us when he's interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser saying he's coming for the Intercontinental title. Breaker likes a challenge, and after a heck of a match on Saturday, he'll talk to Adam Pearce just to get out of Gunther's shadow sooner because Gunther's stock is going down, and that makes Kaiser think. Adam Pearce won't say who attacked Jey Uso, but Sami Zayn thinks it was Seth Rollins without saying his name. Balor wants to know when he's getting his world title shot, and this is when it was made that Balor will get his title shot on Saturday Night Main Event. First, though, Balor has another title match next week, an opponent to be named. Adam Pearce bringing up the point, oh, you want a title match, but you haven't even defended your title you already have. So the Judgment Day will defend their titles next week before Finn Balor has to go after that World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins was a drag-out banger of a match. Solid from both these guys. Zayn is up on top, kick to the face. Zayn grabs a chair, ready to beat the snot out of Rollins. for what he believed was attacking Jey Uso in the back. Rollins suggests, Rollins goes, wait, Sammy, what if it was Punk? What if Punk did it? Which makes Zayn, because Rollins says it wasn't me, I didn't do it. Eventually, Zayn throws down the chair, and Seth Rollins rolls up Sammy for a 1, a 2, a 3, 2 roll-ups. Sort of back-to-back there. Seth Rollins getting a sneaky little pin at 9 minutes, 20 seconds. Rollins leaves the ring looking at Sammy, trying to explain, hey, I had to do what I had to do. As Zayn is looking at him, and out of nowhere, Sami Zayn is attacked from behind, and we find out that he took a vicious claymore as Drew McIntyre has made his return to Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre looking like the top contender as the person who may have taken out Jey Uso, and now attacking Sami Zayn. It's going to get interesting. Why is Drew McIntyre back? And it seems like Drew McIntyre had to come back a little bit earlier than planned. It looks like Bronson Reed was going to be a part of the storyline, but due to Bronson Reed's injury, the WWE had to pivot and brought back Drew McIntyre a little earlier than they had planned. Solid way to end it. What is Drew McIntyre's story here? Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn are going to be awesome. And if you don't know, you can go check out Twitter where Drew McIntyre will tell you how quickly they forget. So unless it comes from him directly or his social media, don't believe anything you hear. Solid Monday Night Raw. Mr. Z?
Yes. I got no complaints. I'm ready. Let's keep that. Let's keep going. That's all I'm saying. That was just beautiful. Beautifully done Monday Night Raw.
No, it was a great Monday Night Raw. The emotional roller coaster that was there, if you were invested in any of this, was amazing. And can't wait to see what comes from all of this and what we see going forward. It's going to be awesome. The Saturday Night Main Event is turning into be a great show. With that being said, because you have Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens and continuing this storyline. Will Randy Orton be there? What role will Randy Orton play? You now have Gunther versus Finn Balor, and you don't know what role Damian Priest is going to play. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship. So far, the matches are stacking up for this great Saturday Night Main Event show. It's going to be a time.
Yeah. Gonna be a hell of a night. Lots of wrestling on that night. Just lots of wrestling.
Lots of great stuff. And of course, E's girlfriend out here roasting Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods on so many ways. If you haven't checked out Twitter and caught some of that stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Great stuff from Punk and Rollins. Monday Night Raw hit it out of the park. As we're starting to build to the first Raw on Netflix, I need to see Raw get hot. I need to see Raw get serious. I need to see more of this Raw. Can't wait to see how this is all going to go down, how this is going to all play out going forward. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're just weeks away from when that kicks in. And when that happens, who knows where we're going to be at? Because then you're starting to build into Rumble. And anything that happens from here on out, that's all it's building towards. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be some great stuff. It's going to be amazing. And can't wait to see how it all goes down.
I was going to say real quick, I seen one of the boys. I'm not going to name any names. I know he watches, but he swears up and down that Big Mommy Cool Meet Me is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Good for him. If he thinks Dora the Explorer's great return as Big Mommy Meet Me, I don't know what to tell him except sorry about your damn luck.
Hey, like I said, we're all wrestling fans here. We love it, and we're gonna riz you if we need to, because sometimes.
Go ahead and be a betting man and take that bet down to Vegas and see how it pays out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Monday Night Raw post-show review. It is on Tuesdays now because Mondays are a little busy. I promise you, one day you will understand. You will get to know all the little deets about that story, but we're going to get there when the timing is right. Tomorrow, it's ready to go. It's going to come at you early in the morning. The New Japan Rebound podcast brought to you by Mr. Z, done every Wednesday. We will be doing that. It's all set in motion. It's ready to go air on the channel. Make sure you ring bells for notifications so when that does go live, you'll be the first one to know. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Helps us out in the algorithm. Gets it out to more people. Then, Thursday, IWCP, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast, will be live with me and the big man, the Super Luchador, Mr. Senor Z. Will be here to talk about independent wrestling, a lot of the big shows coming up in the month of December, from East Bay Pro Wrestling to Rich City to PCW to SPW to TWF to Ugly Dojo and so many more, coming with some great shows this month in the holiday season. We're also going to talk about the tour of the great Lucha Sana. He is going to be in more places than one this holiday season, so you're going to get a lot of opportunities to catch the Lucha Sana. But if anything, you need to join him this Sunday, as we will, in Roseville, California, at Barrios Toys, where you can get an upfront meet and greet and get a picture with Lucha Sana, have some fun times, and help get toys out to kids in need this holiday season. Lucha Sana, Barrios Toys, December 8th, Sunday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., Barrios Toys, Roseville, California. Be there, because the next time you're going to see Lucha Sana will be at PCW in Yuba City, followed by SPW in Elk Grove on December 15th. Follow that up when he's going to show up at Ugly Dojo's big event on December 21st in Vacaville, California. And somewhere or everywhere, the big man, the super heavyweight luchador, Senor Z, is going to meet Lucha Sana. And Lucha Sana will sign his name in the Chuppy Chuppy Hall of Fame. And it's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a fun one. Lucha Sana's already said he's going to chop the big man so hard, he's going to chop him into next Christmas, the very next year, next Christmas. It's where he's going to go next Christmas. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, anything to get me off the naughty list this year, we're good.
Anyways, we'll be back Friday also live with your SmackDown post-show review. We'll go over all the details on that. Saturday, there probably won't be anything on the channel, so thank goodness, thank God we get a day off before we hit Sunday's big event. There'll be a lot of recordings. We're going to go meet and greet with fans. We're going to talk with fans. We're going to pump it up. We're going to make it a fun time when we go out to the Lucha Sana event. Check out Lucha Sana. Check out the Valley Wrestling. Check out Barrios Choice. Check out all the stuff going down Roseville, California. Barrios Choice, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Roseville, California. If you're not there, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't know, you should know. And if you don't, then you need to learn so you do know, to stay caught up and stay ready. Also, on Thursday, December the 5th, if you're an independent wrestler, independent booker, and if you're in independent wrestling, you got a show to promote, if you have matches to promote, come join us. We have an open booking next Thursday. It's going to be a fun one. We have some great guests coming on the 12th of December. And, of course, we're going to talk to the big man, the champ, the SPW heavyweight champion, the one and only Dark Fox Illuminate, on December 12th. He also has a big event coming up on December 13th, I believe, in Wheatland. Hopefully he'll give us the details on that. It's going to be some great wrestling there. Busy weekend with all that stuff. So we hope to hear more from him coming up on December the 12th, right before we head into SPW's Hostile Holiday, which is December 15th. The Soccer World Indoor Arena, Elk Grove, California. It's going to be a major event. It's the big toy drive, bringing unwrapped, brand new toy to give out to kids in need this holiday season. Bring it to the SPW event and come see great action. We already hear the cart is stacking up in a hurry. Some major announcements. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the great reasons you want to be there this holiday season, Hostile Holiday is going to be intense. We're going to be there. We're going to be recording this show. We will record it. Then we will put it all together, make it real pretty. We will do some commentary, and then you'll be able to enjoy Hostile Holiday. But you know what? You need to be there live and in person, because the opportunities of what is going down at Hostile Holiday are ticking away. People will not be there possibly the next time you turn around and look. And if anything would work, then I might be able to assist in some of this stuff. My internet giving me a hard time, but there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we already know that Bobby Callahan, the Metal Mechanic, is getting his rematch from Still Hungry against the SPW heavyweight champion, the Dark Fox Illumide. A lot of controversy in their last match, and now the Metal Mechanic Bobby Callahan is getting another shot at that. And just announced today, ladies and gentlemen, if you thought Still Hungry had one hell of a match when the Cartwheel Jack Summit went one-on-one with the Flying Lion Marcus Lewis at SPW Still Hungry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for another opportunity, and I need you to listen to me carefully. You need to be in the building on December 15th in Elk Grove, California, because your opportunity to see this man up close and in person, meet and greet him, maybe get an autograph, maybe get a picture, your opportunity to see the Cartwheel Jack Summit is ticking down, folks. That timetable and that door is closing. He is WWID'd, and it won't be long before he'll be heading to beautiful Florida, and he'll be working out in the Performance Center and being one of the major new debuting stars, somebody that I can't wait to see wrestle some of the names that are down in NXT. I mean, hell, the Cartwheel Jack Summit, Lexus King, Ethan Eagle Page, Trick Williams. I mean, the list is just starting there, ladies and gentlemen. Tony D'Angelo, Andrew Chase, and even Ridge, Big Ridge. Yes. These are all men that could be in the future of the Cartwheel Jack Summit, and now is your chance and your opportunity to see this man in action when he's going to go up against Guapo Lupe at House of Holiday, December 15th, Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, Sunday, December 15th. Not this coming up Sunday, but 1 week from Sunday, SPW, Elk Grove, California. And if you're looking for a whole weekend of things to do, there is a lot of action on December 14th. That's Saturday. There's wrestling in the Bay. There's wrestling up in Northern California. There is wrestling in East Bay Wrestling. There's going to be wrestling in Richmond. I forget where that one is. And there's going to be Yuba City, I believe, up, I forget, Sacramento. I believe in Sacramento on Stockton Street. Total Wrestling Federation is going to be in action on December 14th. Lots of action there. The Gamer Convention in Sacramento is going to be going down those 2 days, too. Yep. So you can go up for the weekend, have fun, you can watch somebody's wrestling, do some great stuff, but after Sunday, after you get done with that Gamer Convention, you need to be in Elk Grove, California. I promise you, there is no better, no hotter, no more intense wrestling action in SPW. Supreme Pro Wrestling is going to bring you the best card of the weekend that weekend. There are names on this card that you do not want to miss, and your opportunities are closing down. There's going to become a time where we're going to tell you they're no longer there because they've moved up to the next level, and it's going to be a little while before they get to make that return back to SPW. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, Cartwheel Jack Summit, I don't know how much longer we're going to have this man around, and he's a busy man, as we've heard from him. He's got a lot of commitments that he's keeping, and he's got a lot of projects he's working on as he's progressing through this WWID. But ladies and gentlemen, you need to be there. December 15th, Sunday, December 15th, not this Sunday, but the very next Sunday, Elk Grove, California, SPW House of Holiday. I mean, even if it wasn't talking about WWE ID'd, the Cartwheel Jack Summit being there, or even if he wasn't WID, but just seeing the Cartwheel against Guapo Lupe, this match is going to be something that I don't even know me and Mr. Z are going to be able to call. This is going to be a high-flying, all-over-the-place match. They're going to give a whole new meaning to I Believe I Can Fly. One of these men might touch the roof of this building if they got it back on since the last show. Ladies and gentlemen, we want a packed house. You need to be there. I promise you. Let's go out big with 2024. This is the last chance you're going to get to see SPW in action for 2024. You need to be there. It's going to be intense. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 matches with 2 big names. The Dark Fox Illumide and Jack Cartwheel Summit, along with seeing the Metal Mechanic Bobby Callahan, who's always a great entertainment value and worth the price of admission, and Guapo Lupe.
Ooh,
What can I say? What can I say about Guapo? We love Guapo. Guapo is just an amazing talent, and if you ever get to see Guapo in action, you know why.
Yeah.
This guy is, something special.
Solid.
If only the super heavyweight luchador could move like Guapo Lupe, then we might have something.
Well,
I'm
if
just
I could move
saying.
like him, then I'd be, Vader at that point, because Vader could move pretty big for a big man, pretty quick.
I don't even know if Vader can move like Guapo. I don't know if there's a big man that you could tell me moves like Guapo. Okay, Guapo is in a league of his own. There are very few people that I could compare Guapo to, but Guapo does show. If we want to compare him, the closest example that I can say, and a lot of people, if you know, you know, but Guapo has a lot of characteristics to me that remind me of Amazing Red.
Yes. Spot on. That's dead on. Dang. Hey, is Amazing Red still doing independent? That'd be a hell of a match.
I don't know. I know they recently showed on WWE YouTube, they dug up Vault video of a match from Velocity where Amazing Red had his one and only WWE taped wrestling match against CM Punk. So if you're looking for something to watch, Amazing Red CM Punk is an amazing match. But I mean, if you want to talk Guapo Lupe and Jack Summit, you could talk about. Maybe you compare these guys to an Amazing Red versus AJ Styles match. I mean, if I'm going to talk about Jack Summit in comparison, there is a lot of comparison I see in Jack Summit to a young AJ Styles. I mean, there's a lot there that is very comparable. So I mean, if you've ever seen an Amazing Red AJ Styles match, this is kind of that level. I mean, these would be the two closest names that I could pull out that I might make that comparison to.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason Jack Summit is WWID'd. So, I mean, if everything plays out right, if everything goes right, I mean, Jack Summit could definitely be in that. I don't want to say he's the next AJ Styles, but he could be very much in that same echelon of AJ.
Oh yeah. He's definitely one of those light heavyweights that's gonna shock the world. That's for sure.
Yes, and then you got the main event. You got the title match. Bobby Callahan, the Dark Fox, Illuminate, and Illuminate really stands alone. I mean, it's really hard to compare him to anybody. The man's a powerhouse, but he can get. I mean, I guess if I were going to compare him to somebody that people would know right now, I'd have to go to AEW in this instance and make a comparison to Shelton Benjamin.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. And I mean, his title reign stands alone right now in its own league. Just in this
400 plus days as SPW heavyweight champion, the second longest reigning SPW champion that we know of after researching the record books to our best of our knowledge. Only eclipsed by the big hoss, the man out of the dojo. Out of the legendary dojo where the Irish Society comes. Mr. Z knows all about that dojo, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big Frosty. You can't... That big man.
The Nabuki. The Nabukai.
The Nabuki dojo. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Like, folks, I'm telling you, we preach it on, and you got to get to these shows, folks. Plain and simple. You have to get to any of your local shows.
Dude, I all I can promise you all, folks, is just with those two matches announced, you're already well worth the price of admission. I guarantee it. I would put everything on it. There is no doubt. The Metal Mechanic, Bobby Callahan, such a talented star. He's really hard to compare. There's so many guys that you could really say the Metal Mechanic it brings out. He is a solid act, and he's going to go up against the Dark Fox, Illuminate, and Illuminate is in a level all its own, and we are supporters, and we are the ones screaming from the highest mountain saying, and I'm sure there's other people there, but I know us, we are screaming to WWE, we are screaming to Triple H, William Regal, whoever's listening, that's the next man for WWE ID. I want to see William Regal show up at Hostile Holiday and hand that contract to Illuminate, because he needs to be WWE ID'd. And if they don't do it, I hate to say it, but Tony, you're missing the chance to have a talent that should be even maybe a Ring of Honor heavyweight champion. And I'm not talking out of my butt. I'm not talking out of turn. I'm just telling you, if this man's ready to go, he's ready to go, and one of the best talents I've seen. I mean, I think he's ready to step it up to that game. I don't know why somebody isn't ready to get this man in their program, into their development, fine-tune those skills to set him up for the success that he can be. He has it, ladies and gentlemen. And he's not going to be around long at these shows. And we already know Jack Summit's already signed that WWE ID deal, and I think he's definitely his next place. You're going to be seeing him on an NXT TV every Tuesday night. And you know what? As soon as he gets there, I can guarantee you we'll be reviewing NXT just to support our boy. No doubt about it. But I'm like, two cards, and you can already see we're fired up. I'm telling you, you need to be there. And I know people are probably wondering about other shows. We know the Ugly Dojo. We're going to be there December 21st, Vacaville, and that card is getting stacked up. But we'll talk more about that on IWCP and closer to when that show takes place. I'm going to hope that we can possibly reach out to Big Ugly JD Bishop before that show and hopefully get him on the channel to help promote and sell that show. So,
definitely.
Big Ugly.
Yes.
Bishop. Anybody listening, let's get the message out. Let's get you on the podcast. Let's talk independent wrestling. If you're an independent wrestler, check us out. Get with us for you can come on. You can come on for the whole show. You can come on for 10 minutes. You don't have to stay the whole time. Just come on. Let's talk independent wrestling. Let's get you out there. Tell people where they can come see you. There's a plethora of talent we are being introduced to. All we want to do is promote this talent out to the universe so they can know who you are and know where they can come see you, so we can get more butts in the seat at indie wrestling. Let's revive indie wrestling. Let's make indie wrestling great again. Indie wrestling is the place to be. Let's support indie wrestling. Let's get it going, ladies and gentlemen. The fire that is in me, we started this to cover wrestling, and we opened the door to independent wrestling, and now we're fired up. We love WWE. We, respect AEW for what they do, but we are totally in the corner of how do we make independent wrestling a key factor on this platform, in this arena. How do we get independent wrestling back out in the IWC? There are a lot of podcasters out here who are connected to independent wrestling, but I don't see them using the platform to help promote, continue to promote, and build independent wrestling.
That's why you got us. That's why you got us, folks. We're letting you know what's going down up and down the states right now. In the California area, let you know what's going down and where it's at. Hopefully we can expand our horizons one day, but right now, just on the West Coast, we got your back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get crazy, and I know we have loyalties and we have our lines. SPW is one of our biggest homes, and we thank everybody who's a part of that company for opening those doors, opening the opportunities we've gotten, and the opportunities we're getting and continuing to have, and the relationship we're building. And we are more excited for what's to come in 2025 and as this builds forward. And we are thankful to Realm Warriors Championship Wrestling for that door opening. We're grateful to Ugly Dojo for extending their door. Collectible Stampede, West Coast Design, Lucha Santa. The list is growing and going, and it's amazing. And there's a lot of things that are just, ladies and gentlemen, 2024 has been a hell of a ride. It ain't over yet. The big boom is coming. And then at the end of the year, we're going to have a fun time. We're going to send off 2024 in a banger, but I promise you 2025, we're going to light it up. We're going to burn it down. The Value Wrestling is going to set a standard that has never been set. Independent wrestling is going to become something special, and maybe maybe before the end of the year, something major for the Value Wrestling for your boys might just take place. Something that will be like, what? I promise you, it's going to be something that is going to be life changing.
Yes, very much.
And I can already tell you, it makes me awestruck. I mean, I'm just like, this is what? This could really happen? And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it don't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what your story was in the past, good, bad, or otherwise. Your past is only a part of who you have been. It does not dictate who you will be. You can change that course anytime. If you have a dream, dream it. I mean, Brian Danielson said, but if you have a dream, dream it and live your dream, because you never know when the opportunity for your dreams to come true will happen. I'm telling you, living out a dream is an incredible thing. And when those doors start to open and you're just like, I what? Take the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is going to get real close to being something awesome. Yeah. We've gotten way off tangent, but we thank you for joining us on Monday Night Raw Review. We love being here. We love talking to you all. Wednesday, tomorrow, the New Japan Rebound Podcast. We'll be back Thursday with the IWCP, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast, talking about independent wrestling. We'll be talking more about all these events, all these matches. Maybe we'll have some more for SPW. We are going to get you to come to these shows. First and foremost, let's get it off. And then, ladies and gentlemen, Friday, SmackDown. It's going to be a hot time. Are we going to hear from Roman Reigns after the fallout of War Games? What is CM Punk and Kevin Owens going to have to say? Where's Randy Orton in all this story? What is going to happen on Friday night? You better be ready. Sunday, we will be going live to Roseville, California. We will be up there early in the morning, but the event goes from 1 to 3 p.m. at Barrios Toys in Roseville, California. Meet Lucha Santa. We are going to be there. And then we're going to race back here, get some things cleared, and we'll be back Sunday night at 8 p.m. with your weekly roundup podcast, and we'll give you more of the deets and the details of everything that went down during the Lucha Santa event. Then it's another week, and it's going to be a long week because it's going to be Sunday, or it's going to be Monday. We won't be here, but Tuesdays, your Monday Night Raw review. Wednesdays, another New Japan episode. Thursdays will be the December 12th edition with the Dark Fox Illumide when we bring you the IWCP Friday SmackDown review show. Saturday, possibly, I will possibly be at an event Saturday night in Yuba City with Lucha Santa. And then Sunday, December 15th, it's going to be the biggest party the whole weekend, the whole month. SPW. God, I'm getting all these names picked up. Supreme Pro Wrestling, Hostile Holidays, banging it out at the end of the year. It's going to be a hostile time. It's going to be a holiday. Lucha Santa will be there. We'll be bringing in unwrapped new toys for all the boys and girls. So bring those out. Let's load up. We loaded up a truckload of good canned food for those who are going to need it this year. Let's bring out some of the best toys for these kids. Yeah. And then it's going to be incredible, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be incredible. Stay with us. Big thumbs up. Make sure to ring that bell for notifications. And join the Value of Wrestling. Watch our past videos. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start bringing you banger after banger after banger.
There you go.
Believe that. Mr. Z, go ahead. Tell the folks. Adios. Goodbye. So long. Good night. Sayonara.
Good night. Good
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on the next one.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen.